Hey guys, Finide here, and welcome to my channel. Today, we'll be diving into Cloudheim. It's a new shopkeeping and dungeon crawling game mixed with some adventurous open world exploration. This game allows you to kill, loot, forge your own weapons, cook your own food, and many more. At the end of the day, you can choose to sell the stuff you made, or you can use them for combat and more explorations. I'll be showcasing my first gameplay, and I will lay out my thoughts on this game as well as my impressions. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Today, I will be playing with a special friend of mine. We will explore this game together in multiplayer mode. Here are the current settings available in the game. If the game is too easy, you can spice up the difficulty. And you can also allow friendly impulse. We'll check this out later. And for the mastery progress, I'm not gonna touch it yet, so let's just get into the game right now. Alright, here we are in the tutorial section of the game. Here we will learn how to do the basic maneuvering and also triple jump, which is very unique. I haven't seen this in a while. I was then told by this green spirit to kick the wooden board, which I didn't do. So I decided to do it again just to get my pocket allowance. Thank you. I then proceeded to destroy everything in this room, decimating all the crates in my way just to get to this hidden passage, which I will show you guys soon. Here I found my first treasure chest. This game heavily focuses on exploration in order to maximize your rewards. Up next, I was taught how to use the lasso. The green spirit was showing me the ropes. Going into the next room, we see a monument of a flying turtle. There were people riding on its back. I'm not really sure who they are though. I jumped on this flying turtle and I chilled with the boys for a little. They all seemed to be ignoring me, so eventually I got bored. I basked myself in the race of Valhalla before proceeding to go on an adventure. I kicked this wooden gate, which proceeded to kick me back. Anyways, I entered the door and was reunited with my special friend Navom. I saw her standing there and tried to use my lasso to see if it works, and it did. She had to go AFK for a bit though, so I experimented with the lasso, and that's when I get an interesting idea.
Get over here!
She eventually came back though, and I proceeded to kill her again. In my defense, I tried to help. I jumped onto this venomous fountain and it launched me into the sky. At this point in the game, I was thinking about ways to utilize these mechanics into my combos. However, it soon proved to be a challenge. We spent a few more minutes gathering treasure chests from all around the map before I proceed to take a warm bath.
From Spider-Man. Pardon me. No.
Eventually we reached this water fountain where I was proposed an interesting game of hide and seek.
Okay, let's play hide and seek. If you find me, you get 2 rupees.
I decided to flaunt my visual prowess using my Sharingan, or as I call it, Amaterasu. Afterwards, we activated this portal, which led us to all the other realms.
Oh, bye. I see the light.
Anyway, we ventured into this new world. We saw some cute looking creatures, so I tried to kick them, but I failed.
Oh, he's dead. Oh, I'm strong one. you noob one.
She continued flexing on me more with her name of football skills, and yeah, let's just say I got jealous. I tried to give it another go and lasso this guy, but I failed again. Eventually, Isagi Yoichi possessed me and I volley shot this guy. I finally regained my consciousness before Kageyama took over. We pushed forward before we were told that we were someone else.
I was?
We were then given the choice to choose a class. There are 4 classes in total for this game. I decided to go with the DPS route, so I chose Ranger, while Navom here chose to be a Runeblade, which is a support class. We spent a few minutes familiarizing ourselves with the new class as well as the new skills that we have gotten. Surprisingly, I have a skill with a boomerang that would make Jojo Siwa jealous. This game is also combo heavy. Think Devil May Cry meets Genshin Impact. Admittedly, the combos aren't as fluid as Devil May Cry, but it's still good for an online game. This is because latency can prove to be a challenge when programming these games. You are meant to utilize all the different props in the game, such as the purple pumpkins and the whirlwinds on the floor, in order to launch your enemies into space and also lasso them back to continue your combos. However, the auto-targeting part in this game seems to be a little challenging to use. That's why it is kind of difficult to launch these enemies into a specific area. In the next area, we flew across the map. We saw this cute looking guy and I took not 1 double take but 2.
I wanna tame that guy.
I broke my legs from the fall, so I broke this healing totem to fix myself. Up next, we got our first taste of combat. We were both dog shit at this game, and we were just spamming all the buttons and hopefully it turns into a combo. Using my superior aim, I hit everyone with my boomerang. It was all good though. A few button mashing later, we eventually killed all of them with a solid combo streak. I waited for Navom in front of this wooden gate before she pulled off a parkour move, beating me to the chest. So I decided to kick the door open and slam it on her face. This big chest gave us a big heart, and using this, we were able to increase our health. I was then told to not spam my skills as I would get mana burn. We ventured deeper and found more enemies to kill. We killed all the monsters and rescued this puppy from the shelter. For our merciful act, he rewarded us with a world star. The world stars we collected will allow us to travel to other areas. We activated the Bifrost to go to the next area, and to this game's credit, the world design has been really beautiful. Every intricate details have been meticulously put into the maps in order to ensure that we have the best environmental atmosphere possible.
Arc.
Up next, my Dark Souls PTSD returned as I saw the health bar at the top of my screen. Just kidding, I never played Dark Souls. This enemy is armored, so you have to break it first by kicking barrels or explosives to it. Using normal attacks with your weapon while the enemy is armored will only deal minimal damage. Once his armor was broken, I turned into a Tekken Pro player and unleashed a tag team combo with Navom and getting this guy to uninstall his game. The combo was so heavy, the game teleported us back, telling us to chill out. I saw this glowing purple ring and decided to check it out. It turned out to be a buried treasure chest. I used the lasso to pull the treasure chest out. I also noticed that we leveled up, so I checked my equipment as well as my class skills to see if there's any upgrade. In the Ranger class section, I unlocked a skill called Jump Pad, turning me into Octane from Apex Legends. I tested the ability out and broke my legs as a result. We activated the Bifrost and traveled to another area. Remember the puppy we rescued? We were reunited with it again in this area. The puppy was so excited to see us, so we gave it some good pats. Petting it, however, made it vomit some silver greebles. These guys are like walking treasure chests that if we kill, we'll get rewards. Killing these silver greebles proved to be a challenge for me because of the targeting system of this game. I swear it's not skill issue, guys. I eventually killed it and was rewarded with the Nash's Blast fruit. I'm not sure what this fruit does yet, but maybe we'll get to that later on. I wanted to move on to the next area until I realized my partner is still patting the Nasher.
I'm jerking it.
Climbing this flight of stairs led us to a silver statue. All the fighting and exploration made me forget that this game actually has a shopkeeping mechanic. And this was the first time we were transported to the shop island. The name of the island is Odin Shell, and I couldn't make sense of it at first. But once we were transported there, I figured out why. At first, all we saw was rubble, and I thought this place was not a good place to set up shop. I sucked the life force out of this nearby skull and it rewarded me with stardust. A few moments later though, I realized this island is actually really gorgeous. And are those wings? Eventually I figured out that we are on a moving island, and that's when I realized we are actually on top of a turtle. So that's why they call it Odin Shell. This is actually a really unique design, and I really like the way the devs made this area. The design of this island is honestly breathtaking. It has a lot of trees, flowers, and even the terrain looks cool. Also has NPCs on it. I figured this might be where we get quests later on. We eventually found the shopkeeping plot, and this is what's considered to be the base of operations. This big plot is where we will place our structures that allows us to forge, clean ores, make new weapons, as well as upgrade our loadout. The guild chest is where we store our stuff after we're done exploring. As a loot goblin that collects loot off the floor like a Dyson vacuum cleaner, the guild chest provides me with infinite storage and is honestly really helpful. There's nothing more annoying than having too many loots on the ground and you can't collect them up because your inventory is full. The game has a large arsenal of emotes that we can use, however I'm hoping for a more interactive ones between you and friends. After fooling around, we decided to continue with the tutorial quests. The first one requires us to make a blind construction guild, but I was distracted with all the other structures. I accidentally hit C on my keyboard and picked up this blind house. However, I am unable to exit the placement mode without actually placing the structure again. The game is still in early access, so I believe there will be a way to cancel this later on. Eventually, I built the blind construction guild and put it down. This blind construction guild allows us to unlock more structures that we can use. Afterwards, we unlock the smelter and the forge. This allows us to smelt ores and turn them into bars, and eventually use them to make weapons. I peeked into the guild chest and noticed that we have some spare ores lying around, so I decided to try and forge them and then probably make our first weapons. I used the forge to transfer the ores into the smelter and wait for the bars to be made. The bars were then smelted, so we transferred them into the forge. The way the weapons are forged are based on the quality of the ores used, so if we're using the lowest quality ores, we will get the lowest quality weapons. I didn't notice I picked up a chicken and tried to suffocate it in the guild chest. It's all good though, I let it back out. We spent some time making more weapons and experimenting with the forge. Eventually the weapons we made are duplicates and we can sell them now. We then crafted a few of the upgrade stations needed and we upgraded our loadout with this. I'm I'm not really sure how far the upgrading goes, but these two are the few upgrades that we can have right now. The statue of the dwarf lets us wield 2 weapons instead of 1. On the corner of the base, Navom built a Nasher nest. We can use this nest to feed Nasher the Nasher snacks, and in turn, it will drop his items. We won't be using the Nasher nest yet though. We just unlocked a new map and we're both really excited to go explore. Using the world star that we previously acquired, we unlock an island called Arcadia. And with this, the tutorial comes to an end, at least for now. Later on, we will learn how to do shopkeeping. Stay tuned for that. It took a while for my PC to render all the textures, so I'm really sorry. My PC is very ancient at this point. We were practically destroying the ecosystem at this point, killing everything we see. Everything up to this point has been interesting for me. The way you can string combos together and the different weapon mechanics that you can use. I'm really bad at comboing though, so it might take a while for me to learn. Up ahead we saw some large boulders that can be destroyed using these explosive barrels. I kicked the barrel and Navom tried to save the boulders, tanking the explosion. I tried to kick this barrel and missed horribly. It didn't take long for Navom to switch sides and start destroying the boulder as well. See guys, I didn't miss that barrel, it was all planned. Moving on, we went for a hike after watching too many Let's Game It Out videos. Even though the current quest is to reach the Viblin field, we decided to explore instead. After a tiring climb, we finally reached the top. We were both really eager as we both think that we shouldn't be in this area. I went to check behind this waterfall because I knew there was always something behind waterfalls in every game. After opening the treasure chest, I did a little bit more climbing and I stumbled across this. I'm not sure what the purpose of these water balls are, but it said I found the parched temple. The temple was probably parched because these water balls are actually spewing out fireballs. I explored a little bit more and saw this obelisk looking structure, which I promptly destroyed. Close to the parched temple though was a boss fight with a boss called Hollow Sentinel. I wasn't sure whether this was a boss fight as the monsters kept fighting amongst themselves. It was evident though that their tactic worked as I have no idea which one I should kill. After getting my HP dangerously low, I decided to escape and heal while Navom comes to help. With the two of us now here, we wiped the floor with all the enemies. Once that was done, a gate unlocked and we were able to claim our loot. We got more of the Nasher snacks as well as some ores, and also a world star. The ores that we got are of high quality, but they're also corrupted, which means we need to cleanse them first. There was a red glowing object nearby, so we decided to check it out. The prompt told us to restore the statue. Apparently, this was a sylph statue. From the menu, we saw that we can request healing, view the island map, as well as return to our shell island, which is the Odin Shell. We had no intentions of leaving though, so we ventured deeper into the island. I took a break on this ledge while Navom decided to spread more chaos and destruction. Eventually, she felt satisfied and we moved on and found this enemy camp. I circled these monsters as I wasn't sure whether we can take on them or not. Eventually though, I decided to risk it for the biscuit and try to kill them all. Navom again tries to play hero and put me away from this unsuspecting prey. After pretending that I was gonna leave it alone, I snuck out and tried to kill him again. The only difference is though, Navom switched sides again. I sincerely hope she finds her true path one day. I gave this statue a little twirl and opened the chest next to it. Apparently it was a lasso shrine, and using the lasso actually activated the lasso anchors in the sky. But I wanted to do more looting first. We went ahead and restored another sylph statue before terrorizing the local populace again. I heard Navom calling for my aid, so I immediately rushed to help her. Our next challenger is a primal forest spirit. We flung it into the air and it turned into Aladdin and used Navom as a flying carpet. Navom got so angry she sent the forest spirit out of the solar system. Using the lasso anchors, we climbed up all the way to the top of Mount Everest. After reaching the peak, we found a portal that led us to a dungeon. We contemplated whether we should take on the dungeon or not, seeing that we are still low level, but we decided to go for it. Inside the dungeon, I was given the ability to change my loadout, however I haven't unlocked anything yet. I saw the campfire and I wanted to take another warm bath. However, this campfire was actually lava hot. I thought the monsters couldn't pass the checkpoint, but I was soon proven wrong. We were both nervous as the monsters' levels were higher than usual. Navom phased through the wall and killed the enemy for me, and she came back out nonchalantly. Up ahead we saw purple crystals. These are apparently corrupted aqua ores. They actually make good ingots to make high quality weapons. Checkpoints after checkpoints, we ventured deeper into the dungeon, killing everything in our way. I could hear that a treasure was nearby and we decided to check it out. We couldn't figure out a way to get to the treasure chest at first, but soon we eventually found it. Inside this treasure chest were some crude coppers as well as quality coppers. They were both corrupted though. We crossed another checkpoint and came across this metal gate that held a lot of treasures. We didn't want to miss out on anything, so we tried everything we can to break all the boxes and treasure inside. I did not see that it said the gate was locked at first, so we tried smashing every button we have on our keyboard to try and get everything inside. Yeah, nothing could stop our loot goblin spirits from getting the loot. Eventually though, I felt really stupid as this was actually just a simple puzzle. All we needed to do was light up these torches on the wall and the gate will open. So yeah, not my proudest moment, guys. We crossed another checkpoint and got to this huge room with treasure chests and crystals inside. There were traps, but I skillfully evaded all of them. Yeah, I'm really good at this. Anyway, monsters started spawning behind us, so we took them out real quick. Navom's room bleed healing ability helps tremendously with the survivability in this dungeon. Maybe in the future I'll ask more of my friends to play this game so that we can have a tank as well. Eventually the room was cleared and we can finally safely retrieve our treasure chests. This game has a lot of hidden passageways that leads to more treasure. Be sure to explore them. After looting, we went further in and we fought more monsters. All this fighting granted me enough experience points to level up my runeblade. I unlocked the healing ability so I can also support Navom. I might switch this to become a tank in the future. Afterwards, we stumbled across a room filled with a lot of purple crystals. We didn't want to leave a single crystal behind as the aqua ore is currently the best ore we have. The next room had altars that we needed to light, and I could smell the boss fight coming. Couldn't smell that trap though. We explored a little bit before deciding to light the altars up. Immediately I broke my legs. These monsters were nothing to scoff at as they were dealing serious numbers on me. Navom tried to heal me but we kept passing by each other.
Stop running! You're running in like a circle.
In hindsight, we should have used the barrels on the floor, but it was really hard to see when we were fighting. Again, I was just mashing buttons on my keyboard and hoping it will string a combo together. The game said we completed an objective, but we had no idea what we did. It was at this point where there were only 2 enemies left and they were both armored that I remembered that there were barrels on the floor, but I couldn't find them anymore. I stopped looking when I saw Navom broke the armor for this big guy. We spammed all the abilities in our arsenal to finish him quickly. Eventually they were both armor broken and were vulnerable to our attacks. Eventually we killed all the enemies and we were rewarded with a treasure chest. This was the first boss fight that had 2 bosses with shield on, so it was kinda difficult for us. The next room appears to be the final room of the dungeon. I was going for the Grop Gladiator at first, but then I saw that they have healers at the back. I wanted to finish off the healers first so that they don't recover the HP. The rest of the fight wasn't difficult though, so I'll just let you guys see how it played out. I saw some of the enemies have shield on them. I looked around and saw a Grop Captain and I kicked one of his henchmen back to him. I assumed the Grop Captain was the one responsible for the shields around the monsters. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really know what these monsters actually do. We just try to kill them as fast as possible. At the end of the dungeon was a treasure room, and we got a lot of goodies from it. We got 2 copper lock boxes, but I believe we will need to craft copper keys in order to unlock them. Once we were done looting, we were given the option to return back to Odin Shell or just go back to exploring the island. We chose to explore the island again as we haven't even finished the first quest. I took a quick stop in order to upgrade my speed stat, and apparently for ranger class, your weapon damage is based on speed. Before heading to the main quest though, we did a bit of exploring and we found this grove of the wildwood. There are plenty of NPCs in this game, however most of them have only just normal chat dialogues. Perhaps further into the game we will have more quests from them and we will need to come back to them later on. Eventually we decided enough is enough and we went straight to Fiblin Fill. However, on the way there we encountered a boss fight. I barely did any damage to this General Gnarly, it was mostly Navom doing everything. Shout out to the goat. Once that was done, we explored more of the island while making our way towards Fiblin Fill. I really enjoyed the vibrant colors that were present on the islands I've been to. While exploring, we found this locked treasure chest. It required us to do a set of tasks in order to unlock it. So we did the most sensible thing to do to unlock a chest: fishing. It turned out not to be it, and we found these pressure plates spread across the nearby area. What a shocker! After unlocking the treasure chest, we immediately made our way to Fablin Field. Finally! Immediately after getting there, I was told that I was near some pressure plates, so I went to look around for it. We unlocked the treasure and we explored the area until I saw a familiar face. Like, really familiar. I asked Navom to guess which one of us is the NPC. She did not get it right. After that disappointment, I leapt into the air and found 2 treasure chests on top of this tower. I noticed a purple colored loot and it's called the Summon Whistle. We'll get to that later on. And yes, I did miss the World Star. I found something better than the World Star. It was this really cute puppy. Who's your cute puppy? Petting it again gave me loot though. I didn't really quite understand, but I'll take it. And yes, all is good guys, I went back for that World Star. We found this locked treasure chest in the middle that we couldn't open, so we practiced Wing Chun instead. By the way, this is what mana burn looks like, and yes, you cannot use your skills. I accidentally gave this goat or sheep a haircut, so I tried to make it look better. I don't think you liked it. Who said that? Anyway, we were done exploring the island, so we went back to Odin Shell. Our current quest told us to build a cleansing pool, as well as the merchant guild. Once we were done with that, we built a checkout counter, as well as a sale table. In order to actually sell something in this game, you have to put it on the sales table. These can range from a variety of items. Even unrefined ores can be put on the table. Before we do any shopkeeping though, we gave the Nasher some snacks. On the nearby wooden signboard, it displays your progress as you feed the Nasher. Once you have reached the quota, you can pet the Nasher to get your reward. We have plenty of Nasher snacks, so we fed it all to the Nasher. Hopefully it didn't get constipated. We got another Summon Whistle, and we will be using this real soon. After that, I checked out the checkout counter and how to actually run the store. How the turns have table. I asked Navom to sell our most expensive loot. She was not slick with it. I took a gander at our guild chest and noticed that we have an abundance of corrupted ores. These ores will have to be cleansed first before we can turn them into ingots. Fortunately, we already made a cleansing pool and we put it to good use. I can't explain it, but something about putting these ores into the cleansing pool and the smelter, it felt really satisfying. Once the ores have been cleansed, we can use them in the smelter, and we can then turn them into ingots and make weapons. There are different types of ores, and tin ores will turn into tin ingots. These ingots will have different qualities based on the quality of the ores used. The better the ingots used to make the weapons, the higher the stats will be. The best ore that we can use in our current progression right now is the aqua ore. Using the aqua ores, I made weapons of each class in order to have variety in our arsenal. We're still early into the game, so we're not really sure how many types of weapons we can bring at a time. There are options to edit your loadout while exploring, so why not make all the weapons? I opened up the build menu again, and this time I actually paid attention to all the structures that we can currently make. I noticed that we have a lot of guilds that we can make, and I'm assuming that these guilds relate to the profession that we want to dive into. There's also the key press in order to open the lockboxes that we acquired before. For now though, I noticed that our cleansing pool needed a bit of an upgrade, so I made a blind house and used the summoning whistle. Summon whistles are used to summon new blinds to upgrade our current workstations. For example, this station has a 20% chance to double our output from cleansing the ores. We used up all our ores to make more weapons, as I believe crafting the same weapons over and over again will have extra additional stats on them. Here we can see that our best weapons are currently being crafted using aqua ores. These weapons have different skills, so be sure to equip the ones that suit your playstyle the most. I contemplated on which weapon I would like to use before I finally settled down with the focusing blade. This is as far as we've gotten into the game. Everything thus far has been a pleasant experience. There are plenty of quality of life features that enhances the gameplay and make it as hassle-free as possible. For example, the guild chest provides plenty of storage so we can loot to our heart's content. Dungeon that we went to was also not as dragging, so we didn't feel burnt out while clearing it. The combat mechanics are fluid, and although the enemies were easy to kill, I have a feeling that this won't be the case in the near future. I'm also really excited to unlock the other guilds available, especially the Alchemist and Fishing Guild. That is all from me for now, so without further ado, let's give this game a rating. Is this game finna play or finna day? For me, it's a finna play. And that's all from me. Thanks for watching guys. I'm finna day.